doesn't stand for Attorney General. No. Okay, where's my... Oh, here it is. Settling into the body, sitting posture. Spine loosely straight, legs relaxed, sitting at ease.
tejasvinavaditamastu ma vidvishavahi. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Yogena Chikasya Padena Vacham Malam Sharirasya Chavaichakena Yopakaratam Pavaram Muninam Patanjalim Pranjalir Anatosmi Abahu Purushakaram Shankachakrasidarinam Sahasra Shirsam Svetam Pranamami Patanjalim. Hari Om.
Okie dokie. If you weren't sitting in Virasana, sit in Virasana. If you are sitting in Virasana, stay there. Pema Chodra says, meditating is training your mind just the way you would train your dog. Stay. And especially a puppy dog, right? They're there everywhere. Stay. Recognizing the mindful gap between thoughts. Teaching I heard her do recently. So you are sitting in Virasana. I am not. Oops. Put the program here. Okay. Same old boring Virasana, right? Well, no, this is a different Virasana from the one you might have done yesterday. Relax the root of the leg. Have a sense of the inner femur descending. Anjali Mudra. Stay. Does the mind stay in Virasana, or does it race off into the past or future? Interlock, Parvatasana. For some reason it's called Parvatasana, not Urdhva Padangulyasana. Make a circle with the palm as big as you can, but touch the tips of the thumbs if you can, if you don't have wrist problems. Untuck the chin a bit. Again, relax the root of the inner thigh. There's a tendency to feel like you're gripping, pulling it up. For all of you who've been with me for a while, Mula Bandha. Then normalize your breath. Okay, release the arms back to Anjali. Normalize the breath is Ramanan's shorthand for that technique of, on the inhale breath, you release the brain from the periphery toward the center. It's not a collapse, it's not a contraction, it's a pranic release. Another way to say it is the lungs fill up, the brain empties. That's on the inhale breath. On the exhale breath, the brain just naturally goes to its normal volume, still floating in the skull, so it's not like expanding or anything. And his shorthand for that technique, that pranic work, that subtle body work, is normalize your breath. Okay? That's something you can play with or not. It's up to you. Odd finger interlock, re-extend. Release the root of the thigh. Back down to Anju Mudra. Then go into Adho Mukha Svanasana, down face dog. Gradually stretch the legs into dog. Okay, lift your head, look towards your fingertips, look up slightly. Then lift the heels as high as you can, go as high up onto the ball mounds as you can. Keep looking forward. But when you lift up, roll to the big toe. Now lengthen armpit through groin, hip, sit bone. And then don't try to extend the heel to the floor. Extend the heel back out of the ankle bones, lifting the back and inner thigh up as you do that. Then bring the head to neutral. The side of the body, the gross external body, from the armpit to the groin, the hip lengthens. The spinal column, however, from the tip of the coccyx extends to the base of the skull. Theoretically. Okay, then the knees come down, take a break. All right, so first thing to do is check that I have my yoga shorts on. I do. So, we're going to go Adho Mukha, right? And the leg will extend back and up, and we'll swing it up into that Rajakapotasana position. All right?
Okay.
Was that visible? Did you see that? No? All right. Adho Mukha, okay, Adho Mukha Svanasana first. Extending the right leg, drawing the heel, pulls you out of the arms, about the same angle as the torso. Then allow the left heel to lift up and swing the right leg up into that Rajakapotasana position. The knees out to the side. The right heel is by the left groin. If there's a big height underneath that right thigh, put a blanket or a block there. Bring the hands close to your shin. Lift up. Pull back a little from your right hip, roll forward a little from your left hip. Then go to your forearms, if you can. Okay. Now the tendency is to tilt toward the back leg. So I'm watching you, Suzanne. Level off those hips. So your hip bones are equidistant from the floor. That's the easiest way to tell. Then continue stretching out. Those of you who can bring the head down, feel free. Walk the hands far out if you can. Wait there. Make sure that left leg is extending through the inner heel arch. If you need to to stay up on your forearms, that's okay. Okay. Walk the hands in a bit, turn the back toes under, and step back into downward dog. And then extend the left leg, groin to heel. Now let the right heel come up as you swing the left leg up into that second side Ekapada Rajika Podasana base position. Extend that back leg. You can start with the knee on the floor and the toes under if it's a strong stretch in your groin. Pull back a little from your left hip and roll the right pelvic rim a little forward. Then go to your forearms, if you can. Wait there. Almost, I can see almost all, almost all of you are tilted. The right hip is too low. It's tilted toward the back thigh. Levelize. How do you levelize? You intelligize. That's right. Then feel free to extend out to your capacity. If you can go straight arms head down, do that. Normalize your breath, Mula Bandha, all the basics apply. It often feels like the back leg hip is too far up, but just measure by the distance of the hips to the floor. They should be level. And walk the hands in a bit, turn the back foot under, and go back to Adho Mukha Svanasana. We'll skip the part where we bring the back foot to the head. Probably a good idea. All right, now walk your hands back toward your feet and go into Uttanasana. You can start with concave spine to receive the pose. So if you haven't heard the Mula Bandha instructions in a while, here we go. Suzanne, you let me know if I get this right, okay? Internally rotate the head of the femur so the sit bones in the sacrum widen. Sit bones away from the coccyx. Pelvic rims roll toward each other. Maintaining that, bring your awareness to the space in front of your tailbone. Invite your tailbone to release into that space. Then, maintaining all of the previous dynamics, the sit bones have initially spread away from your coccyx with the internal rotation. Then, you don't externally rotate the femur, but the sitting bones release back toward the perineum. That's the Ashwini Mudra dynamic. Then, from behind the pubic plate, release the skin toward the perineum and up. How's that, Suzanne? Did I leave anything out? No. It sounds complicated. I guess it is. Okay. Inhale, stand up. The main thing is the internal rotation, sit bones open, pelvic rims toward each other. Whether you're into the energetic, chronic stuff at all, it's a very healthy movement for your hip sockets, right? Okay. Now take Supta Padangusthasana. I got a thumbs up from Suzanne, so I guess I remembered it. I can see Ramanan giving me the hairy eyeballs. I try to transmit it properly. I'm just a messenger. Okay, right leg up. Now, but move the leg in the socket a few times before you loop the belt or hook your toe with your index middle finger. Let it go back and forth a few times. Just oil up that joint. I also like to kind of roll my hip socket around a few times. Lubricate it up. Okay. Then you either loop the belt around the ball mount or hold the big toe. Catch the top of the shoulder blade trapped down. Extend the left leg and take the heel slightly off the floor and make the leg longer. The right inner thigh descends down to the socket. Then the interesting piece, can you normalize the breath and do Mula Bandha now? Bring those internal techniques to play. Did I say lower the left leg? I did not say lower the left leg. I don't believe I did. I could be wrong. Okay, internally rotate the left leg to the floor. Then take the right leg to the side. Again, go down and up, down and up, down and up 3-4 times. It's okay if the left hip comes up a little bit as you just get some mobility. And then come back to vertical, stabilize the left hip, then extend the leg to the side. So you're not lowering the foot to the floor, you're extending the leg. External rotation. Okay. Bend your left knee, plant your foot on the floor. Lift up and catch the top of the right pelvic rim buttock. Tuck under a bit. So you actually lift your right hip off the floor and catch the top of the hip, then re-extend your left leg. Right leg. Now re-extend your left leg out across the floor, and now making the leg a little longer, take the calf heel barely off the floor. The outer thigh of the right leg and the outer arm from elbow moves toward the sockets. Don't kick over your Christmas tree. And lower the left leg now, sorry. Lower the left leg by making it longer, longer, longer. And inhale, bring the right leg up. Okay, we're not going to do the crossover. So, right leg extended out. Take the left leg up, move it back and forth in the socket a few times. And you can swing it in and around. Then hold the big toe and loop the strap. The left head of the humerus below the armpit. So take enough strap to do that. So that left collarbone is completely open. Extending the right leg, take the leg barely off the floor. Wait there. Normalize your breath. Making the leg longer, take it down. Take the left leg to the side, go up and down a few times. And starting from the vertical, take the leg to the side, keeping the right hip on the floor. External rotation. Left elbow pulls toward the socket, outer left thigh pulls toward the socket. Then the right knee, plant the foot, catch the top of the left buttock with a tuck, and then re-extend the right leg. Extending the right leg, take it barely off the floor. Making the leg longer, lower the leg, extend it. And then release. Plant your feet on the floor. Put your right ankle on your left knee. Dorsiflex the foot. Bring the left knee towards your torso. Hold your hands behind your left thigh. If you can't do that and keep your shoulders on the shoulder blades flat to the floor, leave a strap around the back of your thigh. Keep the right foot, both feet are Tadasana, dorsiflex. Extend the groin, because you probably tilted your pelvis back. Keeping the right thigh internally rotated, move the head of the femur deep into the socket, while you take the right knee slightly away from your right shoulder energetically. Pull the left thigh towards your belly. Get a good stretch in that right outer hip cast. Keep the foot dorsiflexed. Relax your tongue. Now, holding the back of the right thigh, extend the leg as straight as you can. It may not get perpendicular. Extend it out. So I keep, yeah. I mean left leg, sorry. Whatever leg that is up there. Nice. Okay, bend the knee, plant both feet back on the floor. Okay, left ankle across the right knee. Dorsiflex the foot. Bring the right thigh toward the chest. Or loop the belt. Keep the shoulders grounded. Dorsiflex both feet. Taking the root of the left thigh deep into the socket with the inner rotation. Slightly move the knee away from the left shoulder. Keep the feet dorsiflexed. That's important. So you don't work too much from the knee joint. And extend the right leg. Release the collarbones. And lower the leg. Then just roll to your side and come up. Okay. Oops. I'll scooch up here. Okay, Gomukhasana. Cross the right knee over the left. If you need some height under the buttocks to do that, of course you should do that. Gomukhasana legs. Cow face. Kind of a weird. Okay. Gomukha. Don't worry about it. Sit up nice and tall. Now, if the right foot is way out in front and the left foot is by your hip, bring your left foot a little forward so the heels are in line across. Now, with the right knee above, on top, take the left arm up and over, and bring the right arm behind. See if you can interlock your fingers. If you can't, just drop a strap from your left hand to your right hand. I should adjust. Untuck the chin a little. Square off the shoulders. You probably rotated one of them back to get the grip. So square them off again. Exhale, extend forward. Keep the right elbow lifted up a bit. Both left elbow also tends to drop, so lift. Go as far as you can. Say hello to your knee. Hello, knee. And inhale, come up. Release the arms. And then for extra credit, you can whip the legs in there. Very good, Patty and Tracy. You get style points. All right. I have heard this is a teaching posture. So you should not go in, no? Or like a guru.
Feet back.
I don't know. I must be hanging around with different yogis. Yoga's sort of like Christianity. There's all sorts of sects. There's Catholic yogis, and Protestant yogis, and Baptist yogis, and fundamentalist yogis, and Unitarian yogis. Okay. Right arm up and over. There are even agnostic yogis. All these different sects. Untuck the chin a little, lady. Patty, come on. Unless there's some schmutz on your t-shirt there. Right. Inhale, exhale, extend forward. Keep that left elbow, lift the right elbow lifted up slightly. Don't worry about going that far. Just lifting up from behind the navel and heart center. Whatever your range might be. Inhale, come up. Release the arms, release the legs. Oof-da, huh?
Mm-hmm.
It's a mantra here in Minnesota. Ufta, Namaha, Swaha. Ufta, Namaha, Swaha. Pour the ghee into the fire. Swaha. All right. Nara's giving me a dirty look. Okay. Downward dog. Well, has not Guruji Iyengar told us that every posture is an offering?
Yes, dear.
He has, actually. He actually had a rather devotional bent. It didn't really come out till later in his 80s and 90s, but it was there. Okay, walk the hands back toward the feet, go to Uttanasana. Draw the inner back thighs up, extend the torso down, walk the hands back. Stay soft and wide behind the navel and the heart center though. And go deeper into Uttanasana if you can. Got to put the Ut in Uttanasana. If you can hold the ankles or the calves, do that. Extend deeper down. Nice. Soften any tension that came in the throat, heart center, or navel. Almost tip over forward. Almost tip over somersault. Not quite. Play the edge. And holding the ankles or the calves, come to concave spine. Wait there a few breaths. Find that back bend just below the neck. And then inhale to Tadasana. Then take wide stance forward then, Prasarita Padottanasana. Initially, have the torso and arms in a dog pose position, angle. So basically, you're doing a really wide-legged downward dog. Be able to plant the palms. So don't walk too far out with the hands. Be able to anchor the palms like you actually do in Adho Mukha Svanasana. But the legs are in Prasarita Padottanasana. Don't shift the hips forward though. Keep the pelvis in line with the ankles. Now, sustaining that nice length in the side of your torso, walk the hands back and take the trunk and head down if you can. The head may not go down. You can rest it on a bolster or a block or let it be free. Elbows in over the wrists. Open the shoulder blades, lift them up, widen them the way you would do in Shirsasana. Again, play the edge of almost somersaulting over your head, but not quite. Keep the toes long when you do that. The fourth toe is the guru. Extend the ring toe. Come back to concave spine. Keep your hands as far back as you can and come to concave spine. If you need to walk them forward, fine. Otherwise, keep them back. Now firm up the legs into the sockets. Bring your hands to your pelvis and stand up if you can. If not, you can heel toe in a step or two. And then step into Tadasana. Sorry, B. Tadasana.
Tadasana.
Shirsasana, head balance. If you're not doing Shirsasana, do some form of head supported forward bend, headstand. Or use your lovely pelvic swings if you're lucky enough to have those. Nice, Patty. I like that. Style points. Got to keep up with you. All right, Shirsasana. So that normalize the breath technique is you want to work with that in all postures. It's especially helpful in headstand, in the inverted poses. So the brain doesn't feel like it's kind of thick. Extend the thigh bones. Especially make the back of the thighs slightly longer as you roll them in. That dynamic is always present. It's not enough to just contract the muscles of the legs. Lengthen the thigh bone, especially to make the back thigh feel a little longer than the front thigh. Sit bones wide, pelvic ribs rolling in, extending the bones. So as Bob Dylan said, Betsy, the geometry of innocent flesh on the bone. You need to come down, that's okay. We have a lot of different levels of ability in the class, so feel free to adjust for your needs.
Thank you.
And if you can, go to Baddha Konasana legs. Keep a nice wide lift in the shoulders so you're not sinking onto your neck. Press the heels and extend the soles of the feet. Bring the knees slightly forward toward the midline rather than pushing them back. So the pelvis tilts a little into a tuck position by lengthening up through the lumbar and the sacrum. Next stage, if possible, is the wide-legged Upavishta Konasana legs, or we go back to Shirsasana. Outer thigh hits firmly anchored to the socket. Wide lift in the shoulder blades. And then extending through the groin, take the legs back up to perpendicular, back to Shirsasana. And then the breath takes you out of the pose. If you are in headstand, rest with the head down for a while. Don't sit up too quickly. Being thankful for impermanence. Headstand is now completed. Supta Virasana. If you aren't doing Supta Virasana, do Supta Baddha Konasana. If you're not doing that, go into the kitchen and make some chai. Use as much height as you need, but if you don't need a lot of height, feel free to go lower down today. How low can you go? So Betsy, your homework is to, what song is that phrase from? The geometry of innocent flesh on the bone.
Desperation Row.
You know what song that is?
I think I do.
We'll talk later. All right, Supta Virasana. You want to have enough height so you actually feel like you can rest on the support, not that you're gripping the back. So sometimes you don't know until you go into it that you might need more or less support. So where in the back can you release the ribs away from the spine? If there's any sense in gripping the ribs toward the spinal column, release that. Back body ribs. Breathe into the side ribs so you can feel the diaphragm expanding, widening the rib cage to create space for the lower lungs to receive the breath. And gradually sit up and extend your legs. So, I have a visitor.
Kitty.
Okay. Viparitadasana, supported back arch in your chair, or lying on cross bolsters. Whatever is doable for you. Viparitadasana.
Congratulations.
Okay. Oh. You can add the arms over the head anytime. Some people like to do it right away, some people later, some not at all. So that's totally up to you as to if or when you want to add that. Back bend in the chair. Then normalize the breath, Mula Bandha. A couple of energetic pranic level, the pranamaya kosha as they call it. But the pranamaya kosha is informed by the mind and the vijnanamaya kosha, the buddhi, the faculty of intelligence and will. Through the sensory mind, which is the manomaya kosha. And hopefully then it actually manifests on the somatic level, the anandamaya kosha. Nice little way of mapping out the different energetic levels. And then all of that is known through the anandamaya kosha and beyond that, the Purusha, the Atman, the Rigpa, the Brahman. They give it lots of names. Shunyata, Tathagata, the Dharmakaya, all sorts of wonderful names. All right, gradually come up out of the pose. Okay, let's take the initial twist to the right like we normally do, quite often. So hopefully I turned so much that you could actually see John Lennon. Wide collarbones, elbows wide, arms akimbo. Go ahead and lean into your back arm a little. Lean into it, crush the palm, find the back bend, turn. Then shift back, brain over the tailbone. Releasing, sit to the center, wait there. and then twist into the other side. Now the knees and the hips are going to shift. So move the left hip toward the knee, draw the right knee back towards your hip. Sometimes we put a belt or we squeeze a block, but it's nice to know how to do it without the prop. So the right knee pulls backward toward the hip, the left hip moves to the knee, and the knees stay over the heels. And feel free to lean into the back arm a little. Find the back bend in the pose and then shift back to vertical. Left hip to knee, right knee to hip. Internal rotations, bones open, pelvic ribs rolling in. And release and turn forward. Okay, step out of the chair. We're going to do a few more chair twists this morning. Out. Actually, how to show this. Okay, I'm sitting on the, actually somewhat back in the chair. But I lean forward so my right arm can come way up and around to the chair. My left hand reaches down to the leg of the chair. Or the seat of the chair, whatever range of motion you have. So lean forward a little so you have space for the right arm to come to the back of the chair. And then the left arm crosses over, and if possible, hold the front leg of the chair. And then lean back. Pressing the right palm against the back of the chair, open that collarbone and take the elbow and shoulder back. Turn from the left waist floating rib. Do a back bend just below your neck. Untuck the chin a little. Head back, head back. If you can't hold the leg of the chair, just see if you can hold the seat of the chair. If you can't hold that, that's okay. Okay. Oh. All right. Inhale, come up. So my right arm is coming way, way, way down and around. You know, not just kind of lever, using the prop, using the leverage to extend and twist. Okay, we'll take the second side. So, lean a little forward, take the left arm way up and around. The right arm crosses over and holds this. You have to sit fairly back in the chair to get the leg of the chair, of course. If you're sitting on the front edge of the chair, almost no way you can get the leg of the chair. So leverage the right arm against the outer knee and lift. Untuck the chin, find that back bend.
Are we sitting on the, should I be sitting on the left side of the chair with my legs off the side or off the front of the chair?
You're sitting off the front of the chair. You're not sitting to the side.
Oh, bummer. Okay. It was easier that way. Hey.
So you're sitting on the chair. You're sitting on the chair. My job is to make the hard poses easy and the easy poses harder. Okay. Some of you have given up, or let me put a positive spin on that. Some of you have realized I should come out of the pose. Okay. Come out of the pose. There you go. That's it, Suzanne. Okay? Don't forget the advanced Shavasana in between. Let's have a little cigarette, little martini. Obviously, Patty, you've done this before. Okay, now you're going to sit way forward on the chair. You got it? Sit way forward on the chair. Everybody's doing their own practice now, which is fine with me. One thing I realized, I don't have control over you people. It's the last thing I would want, actually. Okay, where were we? You're going to hold the chair and extend forward. I'll show sideways, all right? Okay, extend the legs to Dandasana. Sorry, I made a boop. Then hold the chair and lean forward. Doing essentially Paschimottanasana, sitting on the edge of the chair. Extending forward. Feel? If you can keep going farther out, lower the arms. Hold the chair. Open the chest. Very strong dorsiflexion in the feet. Okay. Release and come up. Okay. So my left leg is extended. My right heel, I bring it up onto the edge of the chair and turn. This is not easy. The right foot goes on the chair. I scooch a little forward so that the heel can actually be, the arch can actually be at the front edge of the chair, just in front of the heel. Then I lift and turn. Toward the bent knee. Toward the bent knee. Lift up out of the right groin and twist. Head back. Okay. Same side. So now my left heel comes up. And I hold the knee and I just twist. You ground that inner heel. Ah, that's good. Yeah, good. Lean back a little. Just hug the knee. That's okay. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, just hug the knee. When was the last time you hugged your knee? We're schlepping you around all these years. Okay, release. Whew. Got to do the other side. Leah has a variation. Riding that recumbent, I think. Okay. Time for shoulder stand. Yeah, that's it, Dan. That was it. Sarvangasana. Okay, take halasana. Or if you're on the chair, if you have another chair back there, do that, or a halasana bench, or a wall. Yeah. Okay, if you're wearing a strap, release it, roll out of the pose. And all right, we're going to take a supported Setu Bandha with the belt around the feet. I'll show you that setup. So I'm using a bolster, okay? My bolster has been used for many years, so it's kind of flat, so I add a little extra height. That's up to you. And then the strap goes around the feet. And the feet, you adjust the strap so the feet are slightly wider than your hips. Okay? Then you lie back into your Setu Bandha. Now if you need some height under the feet, do that. The strap is there to keep the feet dynamic here, like this. Hope you can see. It's a little wide. I adjust. There we go. You're on top of your shoulders during Setu Bandha. And feel free to use some height under your heels if the drop off irritates. So even though you have the strap around the feet, keep the Mula Bandha dynamic, inner rotation. Ground the femur, sit bones wide, pelvic ribs toward each other. You're slightly squeezing the bolster with your inner thighs with that Mula Bandha action. Feet stay very wide. So the bowl of the pelvis stays very wide from the groin all the way back to the hip bones. And explore the effort Balance it out. Integrate the breath. Finding the balance, not overdoing, not underdoing. Finding the Goldilocks place. Just right. Now, completely relax the legs. Stay with your breath. Okay. Bend the knees in and take the legs up into Viparita Karani, keeping the strap there around your feet. Okay, some of you don't seem to know the difference between your ankles and your feet. Oh well. Okay, lower the legs, release the strap, slide off.
Oops.
I thought I did say feet, I think.
I don't know.
So these are feet, these are ankles. I believe I said feet. Both techniques work. I'm used to people flaunting my authority anyway. So. Yeah, right. Okay, take Shavasana. Did I say feet?
I don't know.
Yes, I did. Thank you. Somebody validated my reality. Thank God. And we're at that time of year where it takes as long to get dressed to do Shavasana as it takes to do Shavasana. Get cozy. You should have little Shavasana onesies. So, settling in. Take a moment to refresh your mind. Dedicate the merit gathered through this practice and share it with all beings everywhere, all beings happy, free from suffering, healthy, strong. Don't forget that all beings includes you. Om
Pranamada, Pranamadam, Pranamadachite, Pranasya, Pranamadaya, Pranamivivavashishite. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Hari Om, Shri Guru Bhyo Namaha. Hari Om.
Namaste. Thank you.
Namaste.
Happy third night. Third night of Hanukkah? Yes. Third night of Hanukkah. More light.
Thanks, William. Thanks, William. Bye, Patty.
Hi, Patty.
You're welcome. Okay, Betsy.
It's either Desolation Row or Visions of Johanna.
Nope.
Oh.
Tombstone Blues.
I was going to say
Tombstone Blues.
or Tombstone Blues. Yeah,
You were headed in the right direction.
I was. That was my third one. I couldn't remember if that was actually name of a song. Yeah.
Yeah. The geometry of innocent flesh on the bone causes Galileo's math book to get thrown at Delilah, who's sitting worthlessly alone with tears on her cheeks. Obviously, I know too much about certain things. Mama's in the factory. She ain't got no shoes.
Oh my God. We're all sitting here.
He's looking for food.
Mhm.
I'm in the kitchen with the
Tombstone Blues.
Blues.
My
All
father,
right.
bubbling fountain of misinformation.
Oh no.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Or another Bob Dylan line, Patty, is useless and pointless knowledge. A lot of information, very little knowledge. Right?
Uh-huh.
All right. Take care, everybody.
Some people.
Ciao.
Thank you.